I got pink eye so you don't have to. Don't worry about me. I'm curing it with rat milk. That's why you trust me as your health guru. I'm going to help 10 people right now. All right, before we get started with the questions, my skin is clear, my digestion fantastic, energy through the roof, all three pillars fantastic, both eyes bloodshot red, one's leaking, one has a giant sty, the other's red, beet red like the devil. Was that your question? Hey VP, I got a question for you. Which diet gave you the most energy? I've tried every single diet on earth. I have to say, probably the juice fast, but that ran out. Eventually, I had no energy whatsoever, but in the beginning it was like, wow, cloud nine, getting things done all over the place. Like juice, fantastic. If not that, maybe fruitarian style, but with consequences. I seem to lose my strength, and then over time I have lower energy. I was losing my strength on this diet, and I've upped the protein just a little bit. I'm not even getting my target of 0.5 gram per pound of body weight. And I feel my strength returned already. Just having some hazelnut yogurts, Lou Corona style, boom. More chia seeds instead of the oil, boom. As long as I get enough protein, my strength is there, and as long as I have enough either carbs or fat, my energy is high. So that's what I would do if I was you. I did carnivore for 3 weeks and never had trouble going. About an hour after I eat, I would have to go. That's because your 10th meal pushed out the first one finally 2 weeks ago. They're just piling up in sacks, and then one meat sack pushes out the other sack, and I think that's how it works. Don't quote me on that. I actually felt like my colon was empty after going during this time. Probably because you can't feel meat. It's just, you are meat. So when it's in your colon, there's no feel to it. Whereas you have some lettuce, it's this harsh broom fiber, and you're going to feel, it's like, oh, okay, there it is. Doesn't mean fiber is bad, as we'll get to. I'll debunk you. Now, when I went vegan for a while, it was a different story. I was constantly constipated and would squeeze out so hard that I have to burst blood vessels. Lots of fiber, drank lots of water. So after my experience, I have to believe fiber causes constipation and bloating. Okay, here's why you're wrong. I was believing that as well because I experienced the same thing as you. When I went carnivore, although things were weird, it was just mud baths coming out of me. It was never like normal bowel movements, but it didn't hurt. And I was like, we hit the jackpot, my friends. So it was nice. And then I would eat plant foods, and I'm always like pooing too much or not enough. And then things are getting stuck, and I'm constipated and bloated. And I'm like, what's going on here? Here's the deal. You're weak. I just went through this. For 4 months, I was fruitarian and constipated. It was hard, just like you're describing. Everything is hard to push out. All this fiber, my colon was too weak to handle it. So you have to lower the fiber for a while. Introduce it back in slowly. You're doing juices and smoothies, and then you ramp it up. And now I seem to be able to tolerate the chia seeds. Like I'm up to 4 tablespoons in the smoothie, and things are moving great. So you just get a little help from the magnesium of life. 200 milligrams, tiny touch, just a little bit. And then I'm good to go. So I feel like my bowels are stronger now. Whereas your carnivore ass, if you ate what I ate, you'd be constipated because you can't lift your weak ass protein colon. So the world is full of people like you and me who assume because we get constipated, eating high fiber, fiber causes the constipation, whereas most vegans are thriving with tons of fiber. I watched a What I Eat in a Day video. It was 100+ grams of fiber. I was like, holy cow, how are you doing that? Because she has a strong colon. So you're the problem because you're weak, protein boy. All the fat you eat is blocking symptoms. Try drinking smoothies without added flax for a week and you'll see the reality. Fat is blocking impulses from your body to your brain. Feeling good doesn't mean you're healing. It oftentimes just means you no longer feel how bad you really feel. Laugh, cry. Listen, freak. Omega-3s are essential to the human body. We need them. To say that, that blocks us. Every cell in your damn body is built of the omega-3s, you freak. And cholesterol. If you're saying saturated animal fat and cheese, okay, I'm on board with you. But relax. just having some flax seeds and an avocado here and there, a macadamia nut or two. It helps me. Like, sugar hurts me. If I start drinking jelly beans, I get zits. I'm not going to prove it. But if I start eating fruit, it's like, okay, here's all my symptoms again. Sugar is harming me. Same symptoms if I just drank pure maple syrup, I guarantee you. And no, I'm not going to go prove it because I don't want to be itchy and just erupting. I like my skin right now. It feels nice. Could this work with fish or cod liver oil instead of flax? You sicken me. No, of course not. You fish boy, you fish burp freak. You want that in your life? In your family's life? Some people can't officially convert ALA to EPA DHA. Is that a problem though? Can you confirm it? All I know for sure, omega-3, alpha lipoic acid or something, we convert that into EPA DHA in small amounts, tiny amounts, like 5% of ALA gets converted into DHA. And like, it's a low conversion, probably for a reason. Like, you don't want a lot of DHA, that can go rancid in an instant. I've seen a lot of studies and people mentioning things that, oh, vegans, they're not converting much of the ALA to DHA, they should eat fish. Just, okay, can you prove that it's a problem to have this low conversion? Like, show me that people are suffering. You can't just show me a blood test that says I only convert 9% of ALA to DHA. Oh no, you also have to show me that you have Alzheimer's and you're putting your keys in your cupboard and you're pouring orange juice in your plants, and then we can talk, asshole. Hi, do you notice fruitarian high fruit is easier in summer? I wonder, is it easier to eat the fruits when they're all ripe and happy and the sun shines out and everything's cheap and abundant? No, it's harder. Although I often do the opposite. I go fruitarian in the winter and then high fat in the summer. So to me, it's easier. But of course, man, the fruit's everywhere. That's how it's meant to be. I found living near the equator made it relatively easy to stick to high fruit, high sugar, but other places, different seasons, couldn't make it work. Yeah, I think the cold temperatures, you're eating fruit, which also lowers your temperature, and then it's cold outside, and you're like, oh, this doesn't work. I'm not craving that. Watermelon in the winter shouldn't be a thing. It's gross. You're in a sweater eating watermelon, you should be arrested. So, like, yeah, I get it. You're probably not thriving because you shouldn't. Although there's some people who just do it because they're healthy anyway, and they could thrive on any damn thing they wanted, probably. For me, I would much rather do what I'm doing now, higher fat in the winter, and then slide on over to higher fruit in the summer. That's my plan. I want some. I might buy a watermelon soon. You don't know that I won't. So, like, I hope to be able to do some higher fruit. Dr. G says, like, once you're healed, then eat all the fruit you want. But to heal, some people need the lower sugar approach. That's what I'm doing. Do you never cheat on your diet at all? I'm very strict, but I do eat things that I think might overwhelm my gut sometimes. Like, I eat macadamia nuts by the handful, like a lot, like 600, 700 calories worth with some sun-dried tomatoes. It's like, is that the healthiest thing I could be doing right now? I'm kind of hungry. I want something that's like a cheat meal, even though I have it daily. Wow. But like, I'm not gonna knowingly eat wheat gluten and seed oils and a bunch of soy. And it's tough because there's so many things on this protocol I'm on with the hypernourishing that Dr. G allows that I would never eat. Like nutritional yeast. That gives me freak acne like crazy. Like, I'm allergic to that stuff. And she likes Bragg's liquid aminos. Like, that's full of MSG. I can't believe those two things are on her protocol at all. So like me removing all these fun things that she's allowing. Cacao. She says chocolate's fine in small amounts. I was like, what the hell is caffeine? That's neurotoxins? No way. So I don't get all the fun things she gets. And then I'm sitting there like, what do I eat? Where's my fun? I get nothing. So it's like, yeah, sometimes I have macadamia nuts and sun-dried tomatoes. Sue me. That's my cheat meal. But yeah, I have in the past, like eaten sushi, all you can eat sushi, vegan of course, mango banana sushi. I'll try the odd thing. I bought some live pickles the other day. They had garlic in them. That's a cheat to me. I don't consider garlic healthy, and it was super fun. to have them, but it's like too much salt, too weird. And things like, I bought a Chipotle wrap thing, just like the live raw food wrap that's made with like flax seeds, carrot, and Chipotle was the cheat thing. Too spicy for my gut. I shouldn't be doing that. But I did it a while ago. So I have the odd thing. But it's still a healthy, like way healthier. Like you would look at it like, that's your cheat meal? That's like my goal. I eat 1 pound of animal product a day. I am eating one more animal at 365 pounds than a vegan a year. Oh boy. Yeah, that's what you're doing. Oh man. Too bad the cow runs out of the ribeye steaks you love, huh? They run out pretty quick. There's like 3 of them in there. Oh, I just eat one animal. You like a certain cut. You're not eating the kidneys. You're not eating the tripe, the intestines. Like, there's no one animal in your life. You're delusional. That's 85 animals over my lifetime. Not much bigger. Like, who are you? You're not even close to that. Even when I was eating chicken, it was almost like 1 chicken a day. That's 365 a year. Multiply that, like, you can't compare to some fruitarian who's like picking oranges. Nothing dies. Maybe we stepped on an ant. I'm so sorry. Sometimes there's insects that get caught up in the greens. Oops. Like, we're not intending to kill here. Things happen. Everything we do kills something eventually. Some fly, some bee. I'm so sorry. Just deal with the guilt or stop eating the meat. It's up to you. Bill Harris on the Max Lugavere podcast mentions plenty omega-3 is key in stopping inflammation, but he doesn't think it's all about the ratio between 3 and 6. Just about enough omega-3. What's your take on this? The problem is they compete for the same enzyme, so in order to use either omega-6 or 3, it's the same one enzyme. And so like if you eat a bunch of 6 and some 3, your body's gonna like do both. And apparently it prefers the omega-6. So that enzyme is like magnetically drawn to the 6. So like the key is lowering the 6s. And most people say that anyway, like all the seed oils. Oh my God, so much inflammation. I tell you, like when I was doing high fat vegan many years ago, I was super high omega-6. I even made a video saying like omega-6, that's a myth, man. Nuts and seeds are healthy. Look at all these studies showing that nuts lower inflammation. My CRP was through the roof, and my gut was a little sensitive. I was making like sunflower seed yogurts. You could not get more omega-6, and I was having like 1 or 2 tablespoons of flaxseed to balance. That's not even close to enough. So like, it's a deal. It's a big deal. Most people say as high as 4 omega-6s to 1 omega-3 is ideal long-term for health maintenance, but to reverse a chronic condition, you want to be higher on the omega-3s than the 6s. So for short periods of time, you go high omega-3, no omega-6, and then you slowly add back the omega-6 into your balance, and then, oh my, even more omega-6, and then you get your pumpkin seeds with the zinc, and your hemp seeds and the protein, and you can play in that field. But still, bring the 3s with you to play. Call me dumb, but how does one get fats naturally in a vegan diet? Is this a serious question? Yes, avocados and coconuts, but outside of that, you are consuming processed seed oils. I'm not. You're serious. Okay, in the animal world, if you're a carnivore, what do you have? You have butter, which is basically tasteless, and then you have the animal fat. Most carnivores I know are sticking to beef only, so you have only beef tallow and the drippings, and it's an oily mess, and it clogs up your kitchen sink. So you have like 2 sources of fat that are tasteless, and yet I'm somehow the one lacking when we have avocados, coconuts, all the nuts and seeds and the yogurts, and then you're flavoring them with other plants, adding the onions and the salt to the yogurt mix, and you have a cream cheese now. It's, oh my God, that's so good. And then there's the fatty fruits with the durian and the ackee fruit, freaky things we've never even heard of. And then all the different varieties of avocados and nuts. Roasted nuts, raw nuts, yogurts, milks. Like, we have so many sources of fats. And you get like tallow. Tasteless tallow. What side of the fence you would rather be on? My side. All right, last question. Would it be too traumatic or depressing to give your opinion on the state of Vegan Gains? I tell you, it hurts to see that he's on antipsychotic medication now, and even like his channel, he was such a success. He's the one who inspired me. As soon as I met that guy and I saw he's doing the wigs, and I was like, oh man, look at him, and he was blowing up so fast. Like, I was growing very slowly at that time, and I see him having such success, and he's from Toronto, and he's vegan, and he's doing comedy. I'm like, oh my god, I can do this. It gave me belief in myself, and so like I always credit Vegan Gains for my success. He's super inspired me, and since meeting him, I was like, yep, we're doing this, and it took off, and I'm here because of him only. He's the only reason I'm alive. And to see like his channel, YouTube has suppressed him so hard just because he's so controversial and mean. Like, I get it, he's laughing at people with cancer, like it's rude. He's a terrible person, but he's funny and smart, and he had so much hope, and then he gets all that taken away, and then he's depressed, and he's on the medical route to hell, and like, oh my god, I wish I could help him, but he would never listen to me. He just insults me freely. Whenever my name is brought up, he's like, oh, I hate that guy, he's so dumb. It's like, I still feel for him. I wish he could get off the antipsychotic meds, because I fear for him. I really hope he doesn't do something, because that's what happens with that kind of med. It doesn't end well. So I don't know what to even tell him. Go see Dr. G. She's a vegan doctor. She's much smarter than me. Go see him. Her. Oh my god. Go see her. Him. Boy. Vegan Gains. So I hope he does well somehow. Genuinely. From another brother. From a mother. Do well, buddy. I miss you. Do you want to fight in a cage match? I would. Scrotal sack attacks. That's all I know. We're done? How you doing? You thumbing up the video? The only reason you would thumb this video down is because you once punched a 75-pound man in the ribs. You knew it would break one of them, but you did it because he needed rest, you thought. You thought he looked tired, and you thought, well, if I punch and break his rib, he'll get the rest he needs. You could have just told him to take a nap. Now he has to heal a broken bone. Does he get enough calcium? Of course not, he's vegan. He doesn't know what calcium means. I get enough. I get some with green leafy vegetables. They're super easy to digest. You can tell with all the gas I have. I'm going to go. Did you learn something? I hope you did. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more videos. Anything?